Can everyone see?
So far.
Watch stream.
But first, a message from our sponsors at The Hand of Brass podcast, premiering tomorrow. Join Duncan in his journey through a fantastical land of magic and sword fights.
You don't sound all that confident, but they're in there.
They're in there.
All the
pretty
places
sure.
you could listen to it.
Oh,
yes.
Patreon.com.
they're-
That's Patreon with a P.com.
The sources are in the picture, but it's pretty much any major podcast platform.
Yay!
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 Hey.
Violet Beauregarde.
Well, this is an interesting way to start off.
A lot of text.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't feel you have to read it.
Oh, good.
Ages
No,
ago.
no, shh. I'm still reading.
Oh, okay. You gonna read it? We'll all sit quietly while Nola
We'll
reads.
just wait until you're done.
Have I watched the movie in the last decade? No. You have?
Ages ago, I came across this argument in favor of Violet Beauregarde in the 1971 Willy Wonka film, and I wanted to do a rebuttal. But at the time, I did not have the wherewithal to get that done. But this week, it popped up in my Facebook feed again, so here we go.
Fury was renewed.
The post makes several interesting points about how Violet would have been the best candy tycoon, how she was the best junior capitalist, and how she would have been the best Wonka successor, and how Charlie was basically a blank slate, and why would anyone want someone they could teach things to? And Violet, the original post claims, is practically Wonka already, and isn't it everyone's greatest dream to bring up an heir who is only as good as they are?
I'll never be surpassed.
Greatest of all time. Like the original post, I am only considering the 1971 film, which I have not seen in ages. Let's start with some of the claims. Violet is already just like Wonka, but is a good business person, which I'd argue Wonka, a creative recluse whose quality creations did his marketing for him, is not. The fact Violet is such a classic archetype of a business person and capitalist entrepreneur is probably exactly why Wonka didn't like her disposition. Plus, presumably, here he is disliking things. Plus, presumably, Violet's business savvy led her to take the bait of the Slugworth deal once she'd been told she lost. We don't get to see all the other kids betray Wonka, but it's implied that only Charlie, when told he was a loser, as I assume happened to all of the kids off-screen, only Charlie didn't turn bitter and betray Wonka when it mattered. The post calls Charlie passive, and although he was never pushy, bossy, or entitled, when it mattered he was not a pushover. An authority figure, his grandfather, told him to forget Wonka and take the shady deal because Wonka was rude, but Charlie returned the gobstopper. He didn't start a fight, he didn't throw a fit, he just quietly did what was right when he had nothing to gain. That is not how you run a successful business. But it could be how you lead a worthwhile life. And that was only one of several things that made Charlie unique.
Yeah, is he missing a lot of teeth?
Also,
so much candy.
Loves candy.
Also, he may have been a lizard person. But we'll leave that for now.
Oh.
Cheer up, Charlie.
Yes.
Oh,
Uncle Joe, you're a piece of shit.
oh.
Happy birthday. It's happy now, Uncle Joe.
So, yes, Charlie went along with it when his grandfather wanted to try the drink, but he learned from that, and he got out of the situation on his own. What if each trial had a solution, but none of the other kids found theirs before Wonka had to bail them out? Wonka reveals later that he had been monitoring them the whole time. Presumably, he would have stepped in as he had for the others. It's implied that everyone recovers from their mishaps just fine, and we believe him, right?
No.
Right? The original post says Violet's misstep was reasonable because Wonka had just jeopardized his own credibility and, gum was her thing, and other excuses.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't many of the products seem suspiciously specifically tailored to tempt the children? Golden eggs for avarice incarnate, a TV-themed trap when a TV-obsessed kid, a gum-themed trap and a recovering gum addict? Maybe abstaining wasn't the test. Maybe resisting temptation was never really an option. What if every foul consequence also had an out, just like Charlie's, but they failed to find it? And it is here that I'm going to go a little off the rails.
Really?
Oh, just here?
Just here.
Tell them have been perfectly reasonable.
Absolutely straightforward until now. No one had ever heard of Oompa Loompas, or the place where they came from, or the berries they grew. What if Wonka is more like Prospero than Walt Disney? He didn't dream up these things, he found and harnessed them. Maybe he has, say, a watery tunnel lined with doorways to other realities, and his long absence from the public eye had been a long absence from the actual world. Bargaining with strange creatures from other worlds would take a very different skill set and disposition than haggling with the guy who prints the chocolate bar wrappers. You can't rely on Daddy and his car dealership savvy when devils twist hasty words and tempt unwary souls. They look familiar, but are so alien that their motives cannot possibly be fathomed. And a strong practical sense of reality can quickly be turned against you in surreal situations. And feeling sympathy for mysterious creatures that speak only in rhyme may not be a strength in this particular line of work.
This is a never trust the face situation, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you saying gone, gone, form of man, beware the demon Etrigan?
He's a rap god.
He is. He's very good.
Eminem can suck it. Wonka isn't a businessman. He's a Lovecraftian Doctor Who in an unbreakable glass TARDIS. He has a shrink ray. He has geese that ovulate foil-wrapped chocolate and levitation potions. An entrepreneurial spirit is not likely to be at the top of his list when looking for his sorcerer's apprentice, as it were. The apprentice's journey isn't about resisting the temptation, but learning firsthand what comes of giving in to that temptation and dealing with the consequences and learning from it. Suggesting Violet is qualified because she knows her stuff about candy is like saying Prospero should hand down his arcane knowledge and whatever fey and demonic servants he's enslaved to the Channel 5 weather girl because she sure knows her stuff about barometric pressure. That is not the right skill set. That is how you end up saying goodbye to your apprentice with a bottle of stain remover. So whether Wonka runs a chocolate factory or the world's largest panel van with free candy written on the side in order to lure in children, see how easily they accept the inexplicable, observe their visceral reactions to various extra-dimensional stimuli, and test their character, it's clear that either way, who or whatever Wonka is, running an efficient business isn't his top priority.
Genuinely shocking.
I loved that so much.
That was very, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I learned.
I genuinely really enjoyed that.
That was really
I
good.
do enjoy a good alternate history, and this is nothing if not an alternate history.
That all dovetails seamlessly with the theory that Snowpiercer is a sequel to
sequel.
Willy Wonka.
Oh, really? Is that
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, honestly, it is a very eye-opening and shocking read.
Really?
Yeah.
It makes so much sense.
It truly does.
Yeah.
Well, that's deeply troubling.
Also, I have to just say, rest in peace, Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
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 Rest
Well,
in
this is
power.
how he would have wanted to be remembered.
Rest in practicality.
It's a Lovecraftian Doctor Who.
Cost-effective.
Brought to you by The Hand of Brass. Premiering tomorrow.
Love it.
Well done.
You nailed it.
Very, very nice.
Thank you. Don't forget to check out The Hand of Brass tomorrow.
I'm subscribed already. You can stop telling me.
On podcasts everywhere.
Maybe I'll listen.
I'm still working through other podcasts, but I
Got
guess I
so
can do
many
that too.
podcasts.
So many podcasts. And they're all so soft.
Chris, in case you're curious, Eric today just signed up to another 27 podcasts.
Oh my god.
Why would he need that many more? He already had too many. Yeah, you bitch, I knew it.
Oh,